Those who are viewing this video are almost certainly folks who are constantly interested and desire to learn more about the cosmos. Is the planet really what we believe it to be? Is it true that the Earth was created artificially rather than naturally? Let's look at the hidden reality of where we live in this video. At the same time as Thomas Edison, the famous inventor of the 20th century, there existed a forgotten genius, Nikola Tesla, who had scientific achievements that substantially affected mankind in the 21st century. He was also a brilliant prophet with many correct prophecies, particularly concerning the present day. Nikola was often isolated and labeled a mad scientist due to his unusual demeanor and bizarre remarks regarding the future of science and technology at the time. Nikola Tesla, on the other hand, was a renowned inventor who is also recognized for his astounding predictive powers. He correctly anticipated not just the time, place, start, and conclusion of World War I, but also World War II. Even more incredible, he foretold the disaster of the Great Titanic and attempted to persuade financial boss Morgan not to board the Titanic, the ship in which this tycoon had put a big sum of money. Despite the fact that the inaugural voyage of this ship drew worldwide attention, Morgan suddenly opted not to set sail with the Titanic because he truly believed in Tesla's warning, and Morgan was fortunate to survive. In truth, genius Nikola Tesla made several prophecies about the future before his death. But there is one that is the most astounding, the one that is seldom addressed, since the astonishing thing is that this forecast was validated by the first astronauts to set foot on the moon. However, it is unclear why the U.S. space agency NASA withheld these astronauts' statements. This time, Tesla's forecast differs from his earlier predictions. He claims that in most parts of the moon, it is extremely difficult to view stars beyond the solar system, even with astronomical telescopes. Tesla predicted that the solar system has a protective cover that spins to resonate and amplify, so that it may depart the solar system and migrate to any place. Furthermore, Tesla forecast that the focal point of the solar system's crust will be located at either the South Pole or the North Pole. The visual focus of stars in the sky is substantially decreased, and this location is referred to as the dip point. The alive point is another focus point, where the number of stars seen in the sky is substantially increased. The experimental scientific community has now placed the focal point of the solar system crust on the top secret list because it is also known as the focus point of the hole. When it comes to holes, definitely no one is too surprised. Simply put, holes may be employed for instantaneous space travel or time travel. It is the gate of time and space. People may find it strange that NASA is so concerned about these two Tesla prophecies, which appear to be nothing out of the ordinary. On July 20th, 1969, the Apollo 11 spacecraft completed the first manned space trip to the moon, and at 2017 local time. On the same day, Commander Neil Armstrong and cosmonaut Buzz Aldrin were part of the group who flew to the moon. Armstrong famously stated, "This is one little stride for a man, but one big leap for mankind." 6 hours 39 minutes later, that is, at 2:56 on July 21st, Armstrong became the man who put the American flag on the moon. 19 minutes after Aldrin landed, they gathered 21.55 kilograms of moon rock samples. While the two men were working on the lunar surface, another astronaut, Michael Collins, piloted the module around the moon alone. Strangely, when these astronauts returned to Earth and began to devote all of their efforts to studying and learning spiritual development, the individuals who previously believed in science began to alter. All were devout Christians who actively evangelized, notably Armstrong, who went on to become a Catholic priest and was eager to return to the rural countryside to serve in a little church. What is it that entirely alters who have complete confidence in this science? After Armstrong and his colleagues returned to Earth in 1969, they reported to NASA the amazing phenomena of looking up into space from the moon and not seeing a single star, only one black as ink. This astonished and perplexed the astronaut. Why did the other stars vanish? And could it be that the sparkling stars we see from Earth are fake? The contents of this study were immediately classified as top secret by the U.S. Army, who placed it in a confidential instruction course. At the same time, the military began to deploy all of its resources to plan the exploration of the solar system's crust. In 1972, a series of missions to the solar system's outer shell were begun, and the Apollo lunar mission came to an end. However, after making the last lunar landing and returning to Earth, astronaut Armstrong became depressed and began to seek psychological counseling. He refused to accept NASA's denial of the reality. However, as a government space organization, NASA has its own concerns. They believe it is wrong to reveal to the public what the astronauts have seen without evidence. And they also believe it is truly incredible. Nevertheless, NASA suspected that something was really wrong since astronauts never lie. As a result, NASA quickly proceeded on a plan to investigate the solar system's crust. The Pioneer 10 probe was launched by NASA in March 1972. The Pioneer 11 probe was launched by NASA in April 1973. Jupiter and Saturn were found after the two probes sailed past, respectively, the Sun. In 1977, NASA launched Voyager probes 1 and 2 with the same goal as Pioneer. NASA's first unmanned spacecraft mission, launched in 2005, revealed that the crust of the inner solar system's ring is at least 9 billion kilometers distant and contains at least 5 layers. All stuff can abruptly enter an unknown orbit and decelerate. From 3 billion to 10 billion kilometers, everything will begin to slow down abruptly around 20 billion kilometers and will eventually be annihilated. The Pioneer 10 probe was launched in 1972. It was after reaching this place, from a speed of 10 kilometers per second, it quickly dropped to 10 meters per second, and then it was destroyed. Humans can view the Milky Way and stars at night using telescopes, but the spacecraft was detected that after flying and peering outside 12 billion kilometers from the solar system, it is gloomy, and not even the sun can be seen while staring into the solar system. This is due to the fact that the sun's rays can only reach 12 billion kilometers. It is a highly unusual area from the core of the solar system, 3 billion to 10 billion kilometers. The solar wind appears at the distance of 12 to 25 billion kilometers away, forming like an eggshell around the solar system with a thickness of 7 billion kilometers. The amazing thing about this shell of the solar system is that it acts like a super huge telescope lens, and the human Earth happens to be inside this lens, allowing us to observe the landscape beyond the solar system, such as the Milky Way, other galaxies, and nebulae. However, positivist scientists are beginning to argue that all sights beyond the solar system must pass via the Solar Crust Telescope in order to be viewed outside. This indicates that, unlike spontaneously produced planets or evolving galaxies, the Earth on which people dwell is fundamentally carefully constructed. Some claim it's a massive hoax, since what Armstrong and his team saw on the moon made them know right away that the solar system had been created, and the Earth was only an experiment. What would you think if you were Armstrong after landing on the moon and witnessing the truth in space? What would the experiment be if the solar system was created and the Earth served as the testing ground? Please subscribe to the channel to uncover these mysteries. Thank you for watching the video. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to receive the latest videos about science and mysteries. Goodbye and see you again.